Welcome to today's lesson. In today's lesson, we're going to be looking at change of subject of formula. Let's say we have y plus w is equal to c, and you have been asked to make y subject of formula. In other words, they are saying express y in terms of w and c. So this is the equation that we have. So we want to leave only y on the left hand side, so we are going to take w to the right hand side, and if this w goes to the right hand side, its sign changes to negative. So our answer would be y is equal to c minus w. If we have an expression that says y minus p is equal to m, and we are asked to express p in terms of y and m. So we have to make p positive. That's the first thing that we need to do for the question to be much simpler. So to make p positive, we have to take it to the right hand side. So if we take p to the right hand side, we're going to have m plus p, because we are saying this minus p, if we take it this side, it becomes positive. That's what we have represented here. And now we have to remove m from the right hand side and put it on the left hand side. So if m crosses the equal sign to the left hand side, it becomes negative, and here you're going to have p. And once you get to this stage where p has been expressed in terms of y and m, you can start by writing p, so that you have p is equal to y minus m. So here is your answer after making p the subject of formula. If we have an example like this one, y over c is equal to w, and you are asked to make c the subject of formula. So here you have to clear the fraction. And how are you going to clear the fraction? In this case, you're going to multiply both sides by c. So here you're going to say c times y over c is equal to w times c. So c into c, that's 1, and c into c, that's 1. And here you're going to remain with y on the left hand side, and on this side you're going to have cw. And for you to remain with only c on the right hand side, you have to divide both sides by w, because here you're going to say w into w1, w into w1, and you're going to have y over w being equal to c. And you can start by writing c on the left hand side, because we know these two sides are equal, so it doesn't matter which side you start writing. So now we say c is equal to y over w. So here you will be done making c the subject of formula. Let's say we have an example that says square root of y is equal to g. So from what we have learned before, we know that when we want to remove a square root sign, we have to square this expression. So if you do this to the left hand side, you have to do the same to the right hand side, which means both sides are supposed to be squared. So here this process is going to remove the square root sign, and your answer is going to be y is equal to g squared. So this is what you do when you have been asked to make y the subject, make y the subject of formula, make y the subject of formula. So from what I have explained so far, you can see that it's not that difficult to answer these questions. You just have to move a letter one at a time and apply different concepts one at a time until you are left with your letter being expressed in terms of the other letters. Let's say you have an example that says y squared is equal to k plus x, and you're asked to make y the subject, make y the subject of formula. So here we know if we want to remove or to be left with only y on the left hand side, we have to find the square root. So if you do that to the left hand side, you have to do the same to the right hand side. So the square root of y squared is equal to y, and y is equal to the square root of k plus x. So here you would have made y the subject of formula. Let's say we have a question that says x over n plus 2 is equal to w, and you're asked to make x the subject of formula. So the first thing is you need to clear the fractions. So how are you going to clear the fractions? You're going to multiply each and every term by n. So here we say n times x over n plus 2 times n is equal to n times w. So here you're going to say n into n. N into n is 1, and n into n is 1. So here you remain with x, and here you have 2n, and here you have n w. And for you to remain with only x on this side, you have to remove or move this 2n to the right hand side. So when you move it, it's going to change its sign to negative. So your answer will be x is equal to n w minus 2n. Even if you write it like this, it will still be correct. You can factor out the n and write it this way. It's also correct. So I just want you to go through the examples that I have given, and if you have any questions, just send them forward, and I will help you. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next lesson.